When Star Trek First Contact premiered in 1996, it gave fans one of the most thrilling entries in the franchise's cinematic history. The movie had it all: time travel, the Borg, the emotional stakes of Captain Picard's past, and the legendary moment humanity made first contact with an alien race, the Vulcans. But buried among these grand events was a character who never quite got their due: Lily Sloan. Played brilliantly by Alfred Woodard, Lily was the emotional heart of First Contact. As Dr. Zephram Cochrane's assistant and a reluctant participant in humanity's greatest turning point, she represented the ordinary citizen suddenly thrust into history. Despite standing toe-to-toe with Jean-Luc Picard, questioning his morality, and even grounding his obsession with revenge, Lily largely faded into the background of Star Trek lore after the credits rolled. But now, nearly 3 decades later, Star Trek has finally corrected that oversight, and in doing so, transformed Lily Sloan from a one-off side character into a heroic legend worthy of her own legacy. Lily Sloan, the human heart of First Contact. To understand the importance of Lily's return, it's worth revisiting who she was in First Contact. As Cochrane's right-hand engineer during the post-apocalyptic 21st century, Lily was skeptical of the future. While Cochrane was obsessed with launching Earth's first warp-capable ship, albeit for the fame and fortune, Lily represented a grounded, morally centered counterbalance. She wasn't dazzled by futuristic technology or phasers or starships. She wanted to survive. She wanted humanity to do better. And more importantly, she wasn't afraid to challenge Starfleet's ideals, even when facing down Captain Picard himself. In one of the most powerful scenes in Star Trek film history, Lily calls Picard out for letting vengeance cloud his judgment during the Borg invasion of the Enterprise. "You broke your little ships," she says, after forcing him to recognize that his pursuit of revenge had crossed a line. It's a moment of catharsis for Picard, one he never would have reached without Lily's courage and clarity. And then, she was gone. Despite her pivotal role, the franchise never brought Lily back, not in film, not in TV, and not in most ancillary media. It was as though the woman who helped humanity make first contact and save the Enterprise never existed. Until now. Strange New Worlds' unexpected tribute. In Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 5, titled The Legacy of Lily, the series pulled off one of its most emotional surprises. Set during an away mission to a war-ravaged Earth colony rebuilding in the aftermath of Dominion skirmishes, Captain Pike and his crew discover a historical archive with one surprising dedication: the Lily Sloan Initiative. At first, it seems like a minor Easter egg, another background nod for eagle-eyed fans. But as the episode unfolds, it becomes clear this isn't a throwaway reference. The initiative, the episode reveals, was the foundation of a humanitarian movement that helped shape the Federation's early core principles of peaceful exploration, equality, and environmental rehabilitation. Records show that after the events of First Contact, Lily didn't fade into obscurity. She became a critical figure in rebuilding Earth's infrastructure, forming diplomatic ties, and creating the first global resource-sharing networks post-World War III. Where Cochrane went on to inspire space travel, it was Lily who inspired a unified Earth. The true hero behind the curtain. What Strange New Worlds does so effectively is reframe Lily's legacy. She wasn't just a one-off side character in someone else's story. She was the quiet architect of humanity's rise from the ashes. The unsung hero who refused to let history remember only the flashiest names and moments. This revelation recontextualizes First Contact itself. Lily's grounded perspective, the one that kept Cochrane in check and forced Picard to confront his demons, wasn't just a narrative device. It was the beginning of a lifelong mission, one the Federation would build itself upon. And that's what makes this retcon so satisfying. It doesn't contradict canon. It fills in the blanks that were always there. Fans have often debated what happened to Lily after the events of First Contact. Why didn't she ever show up again? Why didn't Starfleet mention her? Now we know, because her work wasn't done with the stars. It was rooted in Earth, in diplomacy, and in healing. Not all heroes wear uniforms. A legacy for the 21st century. Lily's newfound prominence also resonates deeply with modern audiences. In a time when stories often elevate the loudest or most powerful voices, Lily represents something subtler and perhaps more profound. She's the hero who challenges the narrative, who asks the uncomfortable questions, who values compassion over conquest and holds others accountable when they lose sight of their values. In many ways, she's a role model for what Star Trek has always tried to teach us, that our future depends not just on bold explorers, but on the people who keep our ideals alive. Strange New Worlds honors this by having Uhura uncover the initiative's impact and deliver a stirring monologue about the forgotten names in history, those who quietly did the work, who weren't seeking glory, but whose contributions shaped the galaxy. It's a direct homage to Lily's role in First Contact and a powerful message about who gets remembered. Star Trek's history of course correcting. This isn't the first time Star Trek has retroactively elevated a forgotten or sidelined character. Over the decades, the franchise has returned to minor characters to deepen their arcs. Garak from Deep Space Nine began as a one-off tailor with shady secrets and became one of the most layered characters in the franchise. Even Spock's legacy has been re-examined multiple times, from the 2009 reboot to Strange New Worlds. But what makes Lily's revival unique is how overdue and deserved it feels. She didn't need a massive plot twist or a flashy sci-fi gimmick. Her greatness came from her humanity. Her intelligence, her bravery, her unwillingness to be intimidated by anyone, not even Captain Picard. This new recognition isn't just a redemption for a character. It's a restoration of balance. An acknowledgement that the Federation wasn't built solely by the famous captains and engineers, but by the people who made peace possible in the first place. Could Lily return again? The rediscovery of Lily's legacy in Strange New Worlds opens exciting doors for Star Trek's future storytelling. While Alfred Woodard may be too old now to reprise the role in a major way, there's ample room for new portrayals. A prequel miniseries set in the immediate aftermath of First Contact could explore Lily's struggle to reshape Earth's political and moral landscape. Imagine the tension of navigating fractured governments, rogue warlords, and a planet unsure whether to follow Cochrane's dream or Lily's plea for peace. Even better, Lily's archives and journals could become a source of inspiration in future Star Trek series, guiding new generations of officers. Her philosophies could be taught at Starfleet Academy. Her name could sit alongside Surak and Cochrane as one of the foundational voices of the Federation. Or perhaps most poignantly, Starfleet could name a starship after her, USS Lily Sloan, a vessel dedicated not to war or exploration, but to humanitarian missions and diplomacy. That would be the perfect tribute. Conclusion: the hero we forgot, but always needed. With one heartfelt episode, Star Trek didn't